Hi, I'm Isaac Osborne and welcome to the Posture Therapy page on my website. This video is to help you understand what it is that I'm doing here at Motion Unlimited. How I'm working with your posture to change the issues that you have either with chronic pain or wanting to improve your athletic performance. Now, on the other side of me here, you see a video of a gentleman that is his posture shifting and changing, and I want to show you the process that goes through and talk to you about the process of changing posture, because it is a process, and we're dealing with some three very important things when we're working with posture. The first one is muscle memory, and the second one is muscle coordination. And when we look at this individual's posture, this is his very first photo. This is before he came in to see me. Before we started any treatments. And you can see here, if we use a line of gravity and we line up his posture based off of this line of gravity. Now, ideally, what we would have is at each of these joints, so each one of these main joints, ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, ear, all should line up as close to as possible on this line of gravity. When joints are stacked up properly, those positions of joints transfer weight through the entire structure. We can see here that he is not lining up. His shoulder is in front of the line of gravity. His ear is in front of the line of gravity. His hips are in front of the line of gravity. His knees, to some degree, are in front of the line of gravity here. Now, if we take these lines away, we see that his posture, right, this forward head posture is his position. What we're doing right now is we're taking a look at, or a snapshot of, his current muscle memory and coordination patterning. It's more as coordination patterning in a static position. So this gives us a lot of information. We can see that his upper back has a rounding, so his upper spine has rounded. His chest has dropped down quite a bit. This pulls his head forward. So the chest dropping down, the upper back rounding, the head goes forward. His hips have shifted somewhat in front of him as well. Now, the first after photo is what I'm going to show you. It has to do with working with the Rolf method of structural integration, or working with connective tissue, or more popularly known nowadays as fascia. And fascia has a layering to it, and that layering, as you apply movement through your body, that layering slides over each other. Now, what happens with the body being sedentary or the body being overactive, it creates inflammation in between those layers. And when there's inflammation in the body responds with scarring that area. It creates more of a tissue density, so those layers get stuck. And when those layers get stuck, that movement changes, or that movement doesn't happen at all in that area. So what happens is the body has to shift and compensate around that restriction. So those restrictions can be from an injury, those restrictions can be from overuse in an area, or even underuse of an area. So once those restrictions are present, it's hard to get out of those restrictions without a little bit of help. So the connective tissue manipulation work that I do here opens up those layers of tissue. It re-encourages the sliding in those tissues. So this photo right here is the before photo, and we'll put that line of gravity back in so that you have a reference point. There we go. And this photo here is the afterwards. Now you see that his head came up. His chest came up as well. His head came back to some degree. His upper back came from that rounded position to a straighter position. So it goes from there to there. And this is all in a matter of 1 hour. 1 hour of work, and he goes from that to that. So his upper body releases, his whole body shifts and changes out of this positioning to closer to that alignment position. Now I want to emphasize, does anybody ever attain that perfect alignment position? No, but that's our base point. That's the area that we're using our base structure from. So the closer you get to that alignment, the less issues you have with pain and the higher performance you have. Imagine taking a race car onto the track, like a NASCAR track, where they have the alignment set to the left. And if you take your car onto the track and the alignment where both tires were like this, or even opposite of what the track is doing, you're going to have an incredibly hard time driving that car on that track. And with your normal car, if your wheels are out of alignment, you use more gas, you put more strain on the engine, the CV joints, the transmission, everything. So it's no different from the body in the sense that when the body is aligned, it moves more properly. It's able to go through space easily. So now, this next photo is a week later. And we can see that his posture went back to what it was before. Did it go back exactly? No, because the week before, we can see his head is in a more forward position than in here. So he did retain some of the results of the connective tissue work after that first week of in between the session. So now in this session, what we do is the corrective exercises to really shift the muscle memory and muscle coordination pattern. So we're designing exercises based off of what his alignment is, what his function is. So just in 1 hour, he goes back to this aligned position. One, it's easier for him to attain because there's less of those connective tissue restrictions. But two, we activated all the opposing musculature from this. So all that musculature on the front there, all that musculature is pulling him down, rounding his upper back. So the muscles on the back don't have the ability to work as well if those muscles on the front are so contracted. So then we activate muscles, not only muscles on his back, but other muscles as well. And we're able to shift and change his posture. Now we fast forward to January, from May to January, and this is with him practicing the corrective exercises almost every day, doing corrective exercise work in here with me, also doing connective tissue work, and this is his natural state. This is before any work that we've done in here. So this is what I expect to see when the corrective exercises are working, to the degree that they're working, the person is doing their homework. I expect to see the posture shift and change to a much more aligned position, because what we've done through practicing the corrective exercises over time, releasing the connective tissue restrictions, we're able to see an individual shift their muscle memory pattern, because the muscles record where they are. They record their function. So if you're using your body a certain way every single day because of an injury or because of your job or because of just poor posture habits or overworking it in certain areas, your body records that in its muscle memory patterning. When we shift that over consistency of corrective exercises over time, the body naturally shifts into a more aligned position when the exercises are designed based off that person's posture and alignment. So that in a nutshell is what we're doing here at Motion Unlimited. And if that interests you, please give us a call or contact us in the contact button. And I look forward to meeting you and seeing you here.